Good morning, dear students. Today we are going to discuss Unit 2, that is Wit and Humor. And in Wit and Humor, we are going to cover Lesson 1, that is Dear Departed 1. In this Dear Departed 1, the writer William Stanley Houghton has explained about the degradation of the love and affection in England, especially in the middle class families. So when you see the title Dear Departed is a phrasal verb. Generally dear is used to someone who is very close, but as we can't say that someone has faced death or someone has died, we use the word dear departed. This play is a satire on the way of using a humor to show some of the things which are foolish. Younger generation should love their parents but not their property. The weakness of bad qualities in the society is shown in this particular lesson. Dear Departed is the degradation of the moral values is very clearly shown in this particular lesson. Now when you go deep into the lesson, first let me tell you Dear Departed 1 is a one-act play. Now what is one-act play? One-act play is something different from drama. A drama takes a long duration of time, whereas a one-act play may be finished within 15 to 45 minutes. It has around 4 to 7 characters, and we are only going to talk about a particular character and the instances that are happening in a character. And the setting is at one place only. It only talks about the present time. But whereas in drama, you can see about the present and the future, all these things can be seen in the drama. But in one act play, it is restricted to only one particular subject or particular theme. Now let me explain about the characters. The characters mainly involved in this are Mrs. Amelia Slatter, Mrs. Elizabeth Jordan. These two are sisters, and the respective husbands, Henry Slatter, who is the husband of Amelia Slatter, and Ben Jordan, who is the husband of Elizabeth Jordan. Apart from this, we have the important character Victoria Slatter, a girl of 10 years who is the daughter of Mrs. Amelia Slatter. And the main protagonist about whom we are going to talk in this one act play is Abel Merriweather, the father of Amelia and Elizabeth. Now let me explain about the characters. So we will see that Mrs. Slatter. Now Mrs. Slatter is a vigorous, plump, red-faced, vulgar woman prepared to do any amount of straight talking to get her own way. She is in black. Now what is Mrs. Amelia? Mrs. Amelia is a vigorous. Vigorous means someone who is very strong, who is very healthy, and who is full of energy. At the same time, plump, red-faced indicates that she has a round face. Plump indicates round-faced, and vulgar. Here, vulgar indicates that lack of taste or someone who is very bad. And she is ready to do any amount of straight talking. Straight talking means trying to talk in such a way that you will convince the other person with your way of talking. So straight talking here, it was that bluntly speaking at someone. You are not bothered about the opinion or the feelings of the other person. Such a kind of nature is Mrs. Amelia Slatter. Now she is in black. She is in black indicates that she has worn a black dress, which is a symbol of mourning when someone passes away. And this lady goes into the streets, calls her daughter sharply, means with a loud voice of anger, Victoria, Victoria, die here. Die here means do you hear? When someone is in anger, the voice or the command of the voice is going to change. So do you hear? She says, and this girl, Amelia says, I'm amazed at you. When she's surprised. I really am. Be off now and change your dress. Now go to your room. Be off now means go to your room and change your dress. Actually, the girl was wearing a colored dress, but as it is an occasion of a death, so she has to wear a dress of mourning. So before your Aunt Elizabeth and uncle, so before Aunt Elizabeth and Ben Jordan comes, this girl has to go and change her costume into a mourning dress. And it would never do for them to find you in colors. If you are dressed in color dress, it doesn't look good because your grandfather is lying dead upstairs. Now Victoria is not able to understand why mother is saying grandfather has died and why are Elizabeth and Jordan coming. And moreover, they haven't been to their house for ages. For a long period of time, they never came to their house. Now, Amelia says they are coming to talk over grandfather's affairs, and here affairs indicates the rest over property that grandfather was having before his death. So already Henry has sent a telegram stating that Elizabeth and Ben Jordan should come to their house as soon as he was found dead. So they have found that this old man is dead. Immediately they gave a note of telegram saying that they are supposed to come to the house. Now let me talk about Henry Slater. He's a stooping man. Stooping indicates who bends and walks, a heavy man, a strong man with a drooping mustache. You can see his mustache coming down here. Okay, like this, they're just coming down. That's the drooping mustache. And he is wearing a black tailcoat. Now, black tailcoat is generally a kind of gown, which is a kind of dress which is worn when people are in their house in a a casual way. It has a long tail at the back side, and he is wearing a grey color pant and a black tie and a bowler hat. A bowler hat is nothing but a round hat. Generally, if you see Charlie Chaplin or cricketers when they're playing the hot sun, they wear a round cap to not to have the sunlight fall on their eyes or the head. And Henry also says, I am wondering if they are coming at all. Why are they coming actually? Now when you quarreled, she said she would never set foot in your house again. So before Elizabeth leaving the house, she had a quarrel with you, and in the quarrel she said that she is never ever going to step into a house. But you think they are going to come? This is what Henry said. But Amelia says she'll come fast enough after her share of what her father's left. But she will definitely come because she's eagerly waiting to take what is left after father's death. You know, how hard she can be when she likes. That means both the sisters, Henry satirically says, I suppose it's the family. That means both Amelia as well as Slater, both of them are very strong ladies, very firm ladies with a kind of bad sense. So Henry says, I just wanted to have my wear my chapel or slippers, and Mrs. Slater says, in the kitchen, but you want a new pair, those old ones are nearly worn out. Actually, Henry was having an old pair of slippers. They're completely worn out, but right at this point of time, Mrs. Slater asks Henry to use his father's slippers because his father is no more. Just imagine, would you like to wear a slipper of a person who is already dead? You don't like to. But this lady commands her husbands to wear or to put on the slippers of his father who is no more, as she also feels that the slippers are brand new, so there is nothing wrong in wearing a dead man's slippers. And in this play, Mrs. Slater is always thinking about a particular bureau. Now what is bureau? Bureau is a very old antique desk, a writing desk with some drawers. But her eyes fell on the bureau. She wanted to take it for her. So what she has done, I always wanted to have it after he died. She was just putting an eye. The moment father dies, she wanted to take the bureau and keep it for herself. So Henry says that when Elizabeth comes, while you are dividing the property, see to that the bureau comes on your side or on your part. Mrs. Slater says, no, if Elizabeth comes, she's going to fight with me and take it. So I would keep it with me and we will drive a hard bargain. Now what do you mean by we will drive a hard bargain? So drive a hard bargain means quarreling in such a way that one has to win. They both fight and finally someone has to win to get the particular bureau. So this is the bureau what Amelia wanted to pinch it. She wanted to steal it before Elizabeth is going to come to their house. Here you can see the bureau. This is the bureau what Amelia wanted to take it and keep it for herself. Actually, Henry is not willing to carry the bureau down. Don't look so daft. Don't look so daft means silly. Don't be silly. We have to take the bureau down. So this is what Amelia wants to do. We will put the shabby old chest of drawers upstairs with the bureau is enough. So she wanted to replace the bureau with the old shabby. Shabby means it's not good looking. The old one, which is already damaged one. She wanted to replace it in the place of the bureau and get the bureau down and keep it to herself before Elizabeth comes, and then they start dividing the property. So this is what is her plan. So they wanted to replace the old chest of drawers for the bureau. Now Henry says when we are going to shift or when you are going to bring the bureau down at that particular point of time, if Elizabeth and Ben comes, what would be our situation? And Mrs. Slater says, don't worry, I'm going to fasten the front door. I'm going to close the front door. You just remove your coat, and then because the coat is very lengthy, it has back tail, so she asks her husband to close the door at the same time, take out his coat so that it will be very comfortable for them to bring the bureau down. Noticing this, Victoria says, are you planning to pinch it? Mother, are you trying to steal the bureau? Who says this? Victoria, the daughter of Amelia. And Henry was shocked. He was very shocked to see that, the daughter itself is saying that we are going to do something wrong thing of stealing the bureau. So he says, no child, grandpa gave it to your mother before he died. In order to cover the matter, he says that before itself only, Mr. Abel Merriweather, the grandfather of years, has given this to your mother. Before dead. Victoria says, this morning. And Henry says, yes, this morning only he has given. But Victoria says, this morning, he was drunk this morning. Grandfather drank too much. Okay. This is what the statement is given by Victoria. So she also says that Amelia also wanted to pinch this clock. It's a very good, handsome looking clock. It's looking very attractive. So she puts under her arm and she brings it down, and she says that I'm going to put it on my mantelpiece. Now what do you mean by mantelpiece? So mantelpiece is a shelf which is just above the fireplace in the houses. On that she wanted to put it as a decorative piece. Who? Amelia. So Victoria says that's grandpa's clock, and Slater says be quiet, it's ours now, we have owned it. And she asked her husband to lift the other end of the bureau so that they wanted to bring it down. She is very hot and flushed. When you do something wrong, definitely our facial expression changes. They become very red and stagger in with a pretty old-fashioned bureau containing a locked desk. So they are just bringing the bureau down. They put it there where the chest of drawers were there and straighten the ornaments, etc. So whatever the bureau was there, the bureau was brought down. In the place of the bureau, the old table, the chest of drawers was kept. And while they have put it down, they were able to hear a knock at the door, and the knocking is repeated. And Victoria ushers means to welcome Ben and Mrs. Jordan. Elizabeth and Ben, they have almost reached their house and they were knocking the door, and Victoria welcomed them. The latter is a stout, complacent woman, very stout, very fat, complacent, self-satisfied woman. She always feels that she's very happy and she's contented, and she always wins the other people with her nature of character. You know, she's wearing an outfit of new morning. So they have come very late. This indicates that they might have gone for a shopping and purchased a new morning dress, and after purchasing it, they have come to the Amelia's house. So this is a lesson of Dear Departed. So they have come to their house. So Amelia also, like Amelia, even Elizabeth is also a strong lady who is not very good, and with an irritating air of being always right. What do you mean by irritating air of being always right? Now let me tell the meaning of it. So here this irritating air indicates that always having an expression of annoying. I mean, she always puts a face of anger expression, right? Now Ben is also in complete new mourning. Even her husband also wore a new morning dress. He is rather a jolly person. He is very jovial person. He is a person who never feels sad, who is very easygoing, and who always wanted to be very jolly. But at this particular time, as it's incident of death, he has to adapt himself to the regrettable occasion. The regrettable occasion is his uncle is no more. Now he has to put a sad face. So this is becoming little difficult for Ben Jordan. You know, Mrs. Slater, Elizabeth kisses Mrs. Slater, and the men shake the hands to each other. So Elizabeth says that Amelia that he's gone at last. So he says that father has finally faced death. See how the intention of the daughter is. When father has passed away, you are supposed to show your pain and your love and affection. You have to regret for the situation. You have to feel very sad, and you should be, in a sense of crying because you lost your beloved father. But now she says, finally the father has expired. And Mrs. Slater also says, yes, he's gone and he's 72 a fortnight. Last fortnight is referring to or 2 weeks or 15 days. Okay, and they just sniff a tear. The tear is not even rolled out, but they just sniff like this. And Ben says to Amelia, chirpily. Chirpily means what? Very actively. He is a person who is very jovial. He says very actively and very, lively and jovially says that, Amelia, you mustn't give way. You mustn't give way means you should not feel downhearted, or you should not collapse. Death is going to come to us also. You cannot stop death, or I cannot stop death. This is what Ben wanted to convey to Amelia. Now Mrs. Jordan, that is Elizabeth, wanted to find out how her father has faced death. So Amelia says that father had been very happy this morning. That particular morning he was very happy. He went out to have some breakfast. He went out soon after having a breakfast to pay his insurance. He was paying an insurance like LIC to save some money. So he was all right in the morning. And Ben says, my word, it's a good thing he did. Thank God he's paid some insurance so that we can claim the money after his death. And Elizabeth says that he was always very thoughtful. Every person, in this generation or whatever it is, we have a foresight that we have to save something for our children. So similarly to that, Abel Merriweather was paying the premiums, okay, so that he can keep something for our daughters after he has passed away. He was too honorable to have gone without paying his premium. So after going out and coming in, he just undressed himself, wore a nightgown, and then he was just feeling comfortable, and snuggling means to sleep comfortably in a bed. And when Amelia and Henry and Victoria had their dinner, so after the dinner is completed, she takes a plate with some kind of food, some kind of thing for the father to offer, but he was lying there for all the world as if he was asleep completely. There was a silence. There was no movement of Abel Merriweather. So I put the tray down on the bureau, and now she happened to say bureau, but immediately she just corrected that the chest of drawers, because the bureau is already shifted before Elizabeth and Jordan coming to their house. By mistake, she has revealed the truth, but again she is just recorrecting, saying that it's not the bureau, it's a chest of drawers. So he was, when she went up, he was very quite cold. So she just started to cry and explained that father is no more, and business-like tone here indicates that without any emotions. Well, we will go up and look at him. Now they just wanted to go and see the dead body. Or shall we have tea? Now when someone expired in a family, you rush to the person and see and express your grief. But these people, despite of looking at the old man, they wanted to have a tea. This indicates that they are not really having the true love and affection what they wanted to show on their father. So with this we'll stop today's class. Tomorrow we're going to have the other part of the part 1. Thank you very much, children, for listening. Okay, please revise it, please watch this video, like this video, and even subscribe for this video. Thank you very much. Have a great day.